Friday morning. We got Cahill on the skidder. Me and Dad are cutting. We got this partially cut. Wait till Cahill gets this log out of here. We'll bring her back that way. This is a... I think I got that thing cut off all the way. There he goes. Yep. But he's got another one up there. You can kind of see through there. Got him up there bunching them. That way he can take two at a time. I'm going to put this one in there, and Dad's cutting over here. So we're, like I said, it's his second day. He's kind of on his own today, and just let him take it easy. I'm just trying to stay back, kind of let him work, try to figure some things out on his own. Just giving him a few pointers when you can to help him speed up, which, you know, it is. It's like I stated in yesterday's video, it's a learning curve. So we'll let him get bunching there, kind of zoom in on him. He's getting ready to bunch and try to grab them both and take them out. We'll let him do that. Dad's down here cutting. I'm going to get this one here on the ground. I'm going to work my way straight down the draw here, get into these better trees. But I wanted to get a few of these cut out on top. Now, we took Dad's Ranger today. Mine's still on the trailer. So that tells you how kind of an ornery son I am. Anyway, I'm going to get this one on the ground, and hopefully Cahill can get a little better on it today. Come up for a refuel. That's another thing that makes these things great. Just park it over here out of the way, keep your stuff in the back, and just never too far from it. A little uphill walk. Cahill's clipping along pretty good. I haven't seen him for a little bit. He's been getting this stuff up top here. Dad's working right in there, and I've been off over here in the draw. But I've heard the skidder bellowing down the holler, but that's really about the first I've seen of him in a while. So he's getting along on it. Got one right there. I'll get out of the way. He might run me over. As for now, I've just got him taking them to a place where he's got some room and feels comfortable to bunch them. Just like I said, in the beginning, it's just kind of letting him get the feel for it, let him get comfortable on the machine, kind of learn the ins and outs. Like I told him on this older iron, about all of it's got its quirks. And I'll tell you for sure, after running all of our skidders, each one of them's got its things about itself. So he's just kind of got to learn each skidder as he comes to it. But that one he's running's definitely got the most quirks of any of them. I bought that machine out of Texas, and as a rule, I will never go south to buy a skidder again, and I'll probably never go north to buy a truck. And I've talked to some other guys that share the same outlook. And I'm not saying you guys up north don't take care of your stuff, and I'm not saying everybody down south doesn't take care of theirs, but as a rule, the machines I've seen come out of the south have had a pretty rough life. And I'd say the trucks up north probably get serviced and taken care of, but it's just all the road salt you guys use in your winters. Anyway, we got some good trees down here, some good red oak. Back down here to where I was. See if we can get a few more on the ground. Let's see. I need to cut that guy before I cut this one. It's just like a game of pickup sticks, really, these big trees. Kind of got to pick and choose which ones you fall. let's get a few more on the ground. Dad, he's lapping me. I don't use a hinge near as much as I should. I know that, and the older I get, the more I'm like, man, I maybe ought to start trying to use the hinge. And that's what I was taught when I went to cutting school to get my certification, but it was just never natural to me. So I've never really practiced it a whole lot, but some days I get to playing around with this bigger timber, and I like to try to directionally follow it when I can. You see over there, we're trying to lay everything that way. And putting a notch and a hinge in it. I know there's guys that can go out there and drive nails wherever they want the tree. I'm not that good of a cutter like that. I can get them on the ground and I can cut them, but as far as super precision, that's just not something I've ever really worked on. But the older I get, the more I'm out here cutting. That's something I hone in on. I like to do directional following when I can. I think it makes it easier for the skidder operator. And being a skidder operator all those years, you kind of get to recognize some things, and that's one thing I've recognized. Dad, he's just butchered trees up here this morning. I mean, he has just slayed them. He's the original harvester right there. I mean, every time I look over, man, I see tops flying, hitting the ground. And he's cutting some beasts too, but we've got right here in this little bowl area, this little dish right here in this draw, I've got about 8 or 9 more. Of course, that's a good one right there, tall tree. A couple right over here. I'll probably go over here and get this guy on the ground next. I'll try to bring this one back this way, try to lay it right in here. But yeah, I mean, and cutting's one of those things. I can definitely tell if I've gone, you know, a few days or a week without laying any trees down. It's really one of those things. I think a guy, if he's going to stay on top of it, he needs to try to. It's like practicing anything. You need to do it. You know, it's all about repetition. And I can definitely tell, you know, a difference in my speed and quality of cuts when I've been cutting for a week or two straight. You know, I'm out there and I mean, it's like I can run through a patch of timber like Dad. I mean, that's why Dad's so proficient, because day in, day out, Dad cuts trees, where I'm jumping from running a skidder to cutting trees to moving equipment to buying timber. For Dad, he's out here perfecting his craft every day. And I'll never be as good as he is. I know that. I will never be as good as logger or a cutter as my dad. But I'm still going to get out here and cut trees and make a go out of it. We'll get this one here on the ground. I hear Cahill coming back on the skidder. I think he's working up there on top with Dad. We're getting Dad's stuff. You see some beast up through there. Just they're black oak. They're not really what I call a red oak. They're more of a black. It's all sold for the same. I mean, but the red oak's definitely, I enjoy cutting it a little more. I don't know why. It's probably just in my head, but we'll put a notch and a hinge on this one, try it, and we're gonna try to get right in there between those guys right there. We want it right in that sweet spot. So let's see if we can do it. Perfection. Right where we wanted it. It's not pretty. I'm almost ashamed to even show you guys. It's not pretty. It's not pretty at all, but the tree come down safely. No bust. Right where we wanted it. Zoom up here. I think Cahill's going to make a good hand. I really do. I mean, he's making turn after turn. Each one of them's getting a little quicker. Looks like he's dragging the garden with him there. He'll catch on. I see Dad running around up here on the Ranger, but he'll catch on. But yeah, man, I am that gets me psyched. You know, it's some of you guys have probably heard of Joe Glenn, cutting instructor, longtime logger. He is actually who taught the cutting class I went to back in 2015 and taught me how to hinge cut. Of course, I went in there looking like an idiot, you know, packing an 880, because that's what I was using every day at the time. It's all we were using. So I go in there with that, and everybody's got, you know, the biggest saw there, and that was like a 660 or 661, and there we are with there I was with that. And it was a good time. I enjoyed the class. I actually seen Joe last weekend a little bit and talked to him at the summer meeting. Oh, let me zoom back out. But yeah, I'd really like to take some refresher courses on that. Some more technical cutting. Just you can't know too much. You can never hone your skill too much or craft, especially in a profession as dangerous as logging. And like I said, even though this is ugly, and I'm ashamed to show it, I really am, because you know, usually when I flat cut everything, my stumps are slick. But just kind of trying to hone in and put the trees right here where I want it to be, and that to me that means a lot right there. That's a good start on it. But I'll see if I can get this thing topped, and we'll direct Cahill. He's got a good straight shot line of sight right here. He can come down here and start grabbing these things and getting them out. Whew. Warm today. Smoking right along. There he goes. He's getting the hang of it. He's getting the hang of it. I think he's going to make a pretty good skidder hand. If he was smart, he'd run now. Stay away from this logging. So once it gets in your blood, you've got a heck of a problem on your hand. It's probably worse than drugs or alcohol ever thought about being. Logging is, when you get addicted to it. It's all you want to do. It's all you think about. Cut timber, drag timber, see trees fall, see logs being drug out, see the trucks loading. I know I can't get enough of it. It never gets old. Never gets old. Here he comes. Me and Dad got the deck worked up, all bucked anyway. Let's see where he's going to put these. That one's a pretty good sized log. I probably ought to sort them and get them stacked. That way we've got some more room to work with. Even though we've had a break in the weather, we've been fortunate. I think it's supposed to get up to 90 degrees today, but all week long it's been in the low 80s. Been getting down, even some nights down in the high 50s, mid 50s at night in the morning. So it's been nice working weather, but it's still hot. It's still summertime. There's still no doubt about that. I'm not a fan of summer. Old tire seen its better days. We're getting the deck cleaned up. Cahill's still coming out with logs. I think Dad went in to take lunch. As soon as Cahill comes out this next drag, I'm gonna get him shut down and we'll go in and meet Dad for lunch. Then probably try to come back this afternoon, work a while, try to get a few more out. Deck's getting pretty full. We don't have a lot of room to work with. And
This is it was situations like this that made me realize this is where I really needed skid steers, because when you don't have much room and you sell most of your logs on your landing like we do, you need to try to make the most out of what you got. So with this, we're able to do that, pile logs. They're just so versatile. I mean, I know I sing their praises all the time, but they really are. They're just so versatile. That's why we got 2 of them. And I keep thinking one of you guys is going to want to buy this $289 so I can get another $299. I'm still waiting. No one's biting on it yet. But yeah, I do see myself getting another $299 XHP or XPS, whatever I got, a high flow machine. Whenever I get this one sold. Good machines, real good machines. I wouldn't mind trying out a Deere, the new G Series Deere. I'm hearing good things about them, and Brandon, he's been wanting to try out the Bobcats, what he's been kind of wanting to try, and this sounds ridiculous, but I think the biggest turnoff for me on the Bobcat is the color white. I'm not a big fan of the color white, as ridiculous as that sounds. I would never own a white vehicle or a white work truck. I just don't like the color white. And I've heard the Bobcats are really good machines, which they should be. You know, they kind of led the way with a lot of these skid steers, the smaller machines. So they were some of the innovators. But I'm not going to knock my Cat on performance or power. The only thing I've got against the Cat is it seems like they throw tracks easy, and I've talked to some other people to say the same thing. And the cabs. The cabs are kind of, you don't have like a ton of room in the cabs here. I mean, you spend a couple hours on one of these, and you definitely know you've been in one. I mean, they'll beat you to death. They're not super roomy or comfortable. So that's really my only complaint against the Caterpillar, is that and the tracks. More so the tracks. I kind of, at this point in my life, while I'm still young, I can still kind of live with the minimal room in the cabs here. Bang. Get these piled up here. Little jag of walnut and 1 white oak. That white oak I cut this morning. Kenny cut that walnut the other day. Come back here and get some, put these, the old back row beauties. As you can see, we try to keep our swords separate. There's a kind of a space up here in the middle, which I'll show you. And all this stuff back here, these are all red oak butt logs, black oak, whatever. They all sell the same. Red oak, black oak, butt logs. These are all the butt cuts that are going to bring a little better money back here. And then like this top log here, this is just a tie grade log. We'll take it up here. Stuff up here is tie grade. You can kind of see the dividing right there. It's where we've been parking the skid steer to get it out of the way, that little slot. Get this kicked off and wait for Cahill. Well, I hear Cahill coming out now. I just shut this thing off and got it parked, but yeah, we can kind of do a kind of an overview. And I was talking to Dad earlier before we got all these, what we had on the deck today, bucked and piled. And, you know, he was saying there was already over 10,000 feet. You know, for me, still laying these logs out, it can be hard to judge sometimes the footage. Some of these butts are big. And so you get them laid in there tight like that, they run into a lot of footage fast. So you got a pretty good pile there. Then, you know, we're getting a heck of a pile of tie logs. So, you know, looking at it now, I would say, yeah, every bit of 10,000 or better before we started, but now
I'm guessing there's probably close to, I bet, 13 to 15,000 feet. I know that's a broad generalization, but this pile goes a long ways. These trees got so much footage in them. That's what makes it nice when you're cutting oak. And generally, as a rule, I don't like to cut oak timber unless we're cutting trees with 200 plus feet per tree in them, because it's hard to justify what it costs to do it. You know, you and your client both have to make money. Excuse me, but you know, a 200-foot average tree, you know, that's what they need to average as a whole. And I like them bigger than that, but who doesn't? But yeah, I mean, it's just you need bigger trees to get footage out. And people talk about, they ask me about the sycamore, like right here. Man, that's why I love cutting sycamore, even though it's a cheap wood. When you're cutting, you know, a big sycamore, if you've got, you know, 800, 1,000, 1,200 feet of tree in them, you can knock down some footage fast. And you guys that cut timber, cut sycamore, man, it cuts like butter. I think you could put your chain on backwards and you can still cut it. That's just a joke, by the way. Don't try that. But yeah, I mean, it cuts easy. Same with cottonwood. So here he comes. He's rounding the bend. I'll give him the signal to shut her down. So I'm getting pretty hungry. Definitely need to get a drink of water. Watch him come around the bend here. Here he comes. Smoke trailing. The old hussy, I don't know why she smokes like that. We rebuilt that engine completely. Not us personally, but our mechanic rebuilt it. And she's all kinds of power, but she's smoking. Doing a bang-up job. Hey guys, if you like what you see, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for all of our latest videos.